Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video. It's going to be Throne Mesh versus East Coast Mesh. Um, and basically I'm just going to go through, um, basically what I like about the mesh, what I don't like about the mesh, what you should know. Um, but yeah, I'm going to start with East Coast Mesh. So basically, East Coast Mesh is made by a guy in Maryland, and now the thing about East Coast Mesh is I feel like it's really thin. It's pretty soft, but it does hold its shape very well with the aid of the wax. Now both these heads are strung up the exact same pattern, the exact same head, just to make it fair. But basically, you see, like even when I pinch it together, it holds its shape there, but still at the same time very pliable and soft. Um, Throne Mesh, on the other hand, you see very defined, but here's my problem. It's really hard. It almost feels like hard mesh when you first trying to break it in. Um, Now this kind of bothers me because I like to play with a lot of whip, and the whole break-in time is a little bit of a hassle for me. Um, Being that straight out of the package, I string this up. This is game ready, and I would use this right now. This is my backup stick. But my gamer is strung the exact same way, and I've had it. Um, I've had this stick strung the exact same way for 8 months. Just a little bit longer bottom string because I wanted to bag out for summer. Um, but yeah, these are pretty much new strings. This has only been used lightly, so I can still say it's like pretty much brand new. But this is East Coast Throne. Now there is one thing I will say about Throne Mesh, and I have to contest to its waterproofness. I did do the water test, and water beads off this like no other. East Coast Mesh, the water does bead off of it, but it's not as apparent. The mesh doesn't get wet, which is nice, and I would still be able to use it in the rain, as I have many times. Um, just to show you, I'm going to do a little ball drop test. I'm going to show you. See, barely a dent made. That is the East Coast Mesh. Pretty sizable dent. Just the wax on the Throne Mesh, I have to say, it's not as apparent. Um, I feel like the wax is a little bit more sunken in. So for that, I commend him on finding a way to actually like integrate the wax in the mesh. Now Greg's mesh, East Coast Mesh, is you feel it on the outside, and as it starts to wear away, you'll still feel it. And 8 months later, I still have wax all over that mesh, and you really feel it. You can say, hey, I feel the wax. This, maybe it just feels like, I don't know. I can't describe the feeling or the texture, but you really have to dig in hard into the mesh, to even like get a feel of like, hey, this is waxy. But if you don't like a ridiculous amount of wax, I'd say go with this. But moderate amount where you want to feel it, as I go with East Coast. Hold East Coast and hold for Throne Mesh. Um, I think just because it's whippier, it holds the ball a little bit better. It's softer, and you can really get the ball to really sit anywhere in this pocket. It's kind of ridiculous. I was past 90 degrees, which is pretty cool. But other than that, stringability, it was very easy to string, I have to say. It was a pleasure to string. But, as far as stringing goes, East Coast Mesh, wins again because it's softer, less strain on your hands. You get sick-looking pockets like this with amazing channels. Channel on this is pretty sweet too. It just, just doesn't have as much hold, and that's a defining factor for me. The die work on this though is really nice. I will say, wherever you string, the pocket will hold its shape. There's no problem there. But if you like a little bit more whip, maybe not the best option for you. I'd say East Coast Mesh, but this is a mid pocket, very generic pocket here. But this one will shift a little bit higher on you. It's more like a mid-high. But it's the exact same pattern Greg uses on his Stallion. Well, one of the ones he strung up, anyways. But that's really all I have to say about the mesh. I honestly think that East Coast Mesh is your better option. Just because it's ready out of the package. You string it up, it's game ready. There's no break-in period. It's nice and waxy. Has a good consistency to the mesh, and the wax will stay on there. I know for months. I've only had that thrown mesh for a couple weeks now. But still, it just doesn't feel as waxy to me. You be the judge. It's really up to you, whatever your preferences is. They're both great meshes. Just in my personal opinion, I like East Coast Mesh, and that's what I'm going to continue to use throughout probably the rest of my career. So thanks, guys.